Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're doing a coaching session. If you start, I don't know, it's a really dangerous thing. Yeah, you gotta have something faster than that though. It's either gotta be both W and your bubble are good. And if you're gonna invade like that, you gotta be ready for someone to be in that bush, you know? It's gotta be like, boom, you see somebody bubble. Because that took like 5 seconds to bubble and you didn't ignite anybody. So yeah, you gotta be ready to go. You know, you can't really be surprised if you're going in like that. But anyways, okay. So this is patch 10.2, so special thanks to Fane for donating for this. It's going to be a Nami support video. If you'd like a coaching video yourself, just email me at strategyprofessor@gmail.com. Happy to set that up for you. We just do it right on stream. We're doing it live right now on stream, so you might hear me, you know, chatting with the stream as well. And we stream every night starting around like 10 or 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going till about 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Occasionally we might start a bit later than that, but that's usually what we try to aim for. You can always follow me on Twitter at @thestratprom. I don't tweet a bunch of just random garbage. I pretty much only tweet when I'm about to start streaming. I just say, hey, I'm going to start streaming. If you just want a little extra way to get an announcement. Then, of course, if you sub and hit the bell on YouTube, it'll also tell you when we're streaming. And we do have a Discord as well. Strategy Professor Discord that you can join, and that also has a bot that announces when we're streaming. Okay. Okay. Lulu did get 2 kills, but she spent it on Fairy Charms, so she does not have a huge advantage over you early. Obviously a bit, but at least she didn't get an ammo. She got boots, a couple of Fairy Charms, so I would try to be going up and just like, you need to try to cover for your 80 carry. So preferably you hit the, actually, you know, I think hitting Lulu might be the right choice because Aphelios can just heal up with his, that gun right there, the scythe gun. Yeah, just go up and hit her. Like, you want her to use her mana on you and not your 80 carry, and also your W is pretty weak. It's just a standalone heal early on. Like, you really need to get bounces to get value out of it. So you want to be going up and just like auto attacking and like trading with your W. Like, you do not want to let the Lulu zone your 80 carry like this. There you go. Yeah. Bubble Ignite. Perfect. Okay, great. So that did work out really well, but I think just kind of earlier on, I would have been like up in her face, like trying to trade. Because she doesn't have a heal early. She has a shield, but she has to choose whether to use that shield offensively. Okay, got the flash. She has to choose whether to use that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, it's rough. But she has to choose whether to use that shield offensively or defensively. So if she uses the shield offensively on you, then like you're gonna take damage, but then you hit her with your W and you heal yourself with the same spell. So Nami's typically a really good matchup early on into Lulu. Although, I mean, she did have Fairy Charms, but if she's like coming up trying to shield herself and then Q you, like she might win the trades a little bit early on, but they changed that year in Enazak. I'm like 99% sure they either changed it last patch or they are changing it this patch. To where if Senna gets a relic proc like that, then it counts as her getting the kill as far as like her soul goes, and you get the really low chance on it. I remember seeing them changing that somewhere. So it was a good idea for a while, but they've either already changed it or they're going to change it in 2 days. Senna's mad, man. Playing like she's mad. Ooh. Okay. Not again, Senna. Not again. Okay. Who do they have a jungler? Like, what's going on? Okay, you guys should go for dragon. ADC's back. Yeah. Any wards? Yeah, you gotta control ward. Yeah, I would have control warded something. Probably here or here. How did he even sneak into that pit? Okay, so they have that warded, basically. Did they have it warded? I guess, yeah, maybe you should have just warded the pit. It's really weird for them to have that. I gotta know if that's warded. Let me see. How does he know? Oh, he swept it. Okay. So once you see that sweep, y'all gotta pull this out of the pit. I'm about to say, it would be extremely rare. Yeah, so you gotta pull it out of the pit. You gotta just ping this like a lot. What elo are we watching? I think this is matched at high gold, low platinum. I mean, the Heimer was important, but like, you should have, like, once you get swept like that, you have to either stop or you have to pull it out of the pit so that he can't immediately jump in and start attacking either the dragon or your jungler. Would have been nice if Senna was there. Would have been handy if she rotated for the dragon, but I still think it was okay to go for it. It's really bizarre that he was on your side of the jungle at that moment, and just happened to hit the sweeper right when y'all are doing it. Okay. Nice. Now, Lucian could come roaming down here. How does Lucian... Yeah, well, there he is. How does Lucian lose to Or like Teemo lose to Lucian. I mean, I don't know. I guess if he's really slow on his darts. Not really sure. Maybe Kha'Zix camped him a lot. Either way, I guess it is what it is. Okay, Kha'Zix, no, you need to run. Maybe, did you not see him? I saw him on the scuttle. Got Athenes. I would go for Spell Thieves. Right, Nami's such a mana hog, and you're gonna be getting, Athenes anyways, and so it gives you 10 extra AP on Athenes as well, because the 50% mana regen converts over to AP. I think it gives you up to 100% mana regen too once you complete the Frostfang, which is 20 more AP, which is 400 gold value once that completes. So I think if you're gonna get Athenes, you're kind of priced into getting Frostfang, especially after the nerfs to Relic a couple of patches ago. Kind of sad too. They basically said they're gonna nerf Soraka because she's getting played top lane. They do not want any supports playing anywhere but support, basically. And a lot of it's because their items are just too cheap. So I hope they don't nerf the items. They just nerf some of the champs that get played outside of it. But it's pretty much how it goes. One of those team, please. I have a moment. Soraka top, it depends on what you mean by meta.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
It's being played in pro some. Has a high win rate, but a low play rate. So, like when I'm thinking meta, I'm thinking popular and powerful. If it's just like an obscure champion that has a high win rate, like, you know, you could say Taric middle is meta. It's like, not really, he played with one comp. Like, he's played with Master Yi basically as a funnel comp. So I wouldn't call her meta yet, but she has the potential to become more popular if she gets more publicity from pro play. But just the fact that she's a support champ, a lot of people just aren't going to play her anyways. People want to play those, you know, 1v9 pentakill type of champs in solo lanes. She's a rule breaker, which is why, you know, right now with her current like iteration, that's why they're banning her. Like anyone that uses, or not banning her, but like nerfing her. The problem with playing supports in other roles is that their items are really cheap. They do not want like solo laners to be able to rush items. Like Proto Belt is as low as it goes with what they think is acceptable with a 2,500 gold item. If solo lanes can comfortably start building like Athene's or Ardent Sensor, Redemption, you know, like these items that are like 2,300 or less gold, and they don't want that because it cheats the power curve and creates really weird lopsided timings in Pro. I mean, that's basically why Ivern got nerfed a hell of a lot back in the days, because he bought all those items. That's big reason why like Top Karma got nerfed a lot, why Lulu was nerfed a lot a long time ago, like mid lane Lulu. The biggest offender of this over time has probably been Karma, like solo lane Karma, because she's been good in several different metas. But yeah, they don't want that. Because like the whole point of having those items for like supports for enchanters is that they can actually buy items and do things on a budget because they get less gold. So it's like on time for a Soraka, you know, to complete like a normal support Soraka to complete a redemption by the time the enemy AD carry has an Infinity Edge or something like that. Like that's okay. But like if you're top lane Soraka, you know, completing your Athene's plus Ardent Sensor by the time your counterpart only has Trinity Force is not okay in their mind.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
It's not as good. It's still like okay in solo queue, but it's extremely susceptible to ganks early on. But in pro play, they can play around that. Okay, let me see what's going on down here. Got a little sidetracked. I think most of your rotations, it looked pretty good. I mean, this is just one of those games where it's like you know, the jungler is just like hard camping bottom, and there's not like you can't roam a ton as Nami early on. Like you can, but if Kha'Zix catches you out, he's gonna blow you up. Almost. Gotta hit him with that slow first. I think you gotta E yourself, and then hit him with the slow, and then when he jumps, then you aim your wave. It is hard to hit that wave, though. Yeah, that's why, and that's also why, like, a big part of why supports tend to, like, enchanters almost always tend to have high win rates in solo queue is because, like, their items are so cheap and so, like, insanely cost efficient. You would see them in pro more, but, like, it's complicated. Basically, right now, you need hard engage most of the time in pro. I guess Braum and Tom are kind of exceptions to that, but it gets really complicated. But basically, you know, the big takeaway is enchanter items are designed and balanced around supports who don't have a good gold income. That's why they get very efficient items. And typically, you can afford to do that because people don't play supports outside of support. Versus, like, tanks can't have... Typically, it's hard for tanks to have really good, efficient items because, like, tank supports, because the solo laners or junglers will abuse it. So that's why they had to nerf Locket so many times. They had to nerf Knight's Vow so many times because there were, like, tank top laners and tank junglers buying those items consistently. There's just not a lot else you can do. Like, they chased, like, the Senna didn't even notice there was a Kha'Zix on her until she was dead. I mean, Kha'Zix is just kind of taking over this game. You do have decent wards. He's just, like, getting around the wards. There he is. I mean, Senna should see him right there. She just literally is not paying attention to her screen. And Nami's flashing after that. Or, Ari is. There's not a ton. Yeah, you just gotta let this go. Yeah, so they're nerfing the Soraka. People have been running Sona top, I think, a little bit too. They are nerfing Sona. I'm afraid they're going to get Spell Thieves nerfed again. Somehow, the way that it is, I haven't done the exact math on it, but like these solo lane support type of champs can actually run Spell Thieves and like get around the penalty. And they definitely don't like that. They do not want other champs getting the support gold item, because then you get a bunch of wards, and like Riot really, really hates vision in pro play. So they think it stagnates the game. People play too safely. Like, they don't want 40-minute games. They're already getting like 40-minute games in the LCS, 50-minute games, and tanks aren't even in the meta. And like vision is very scarce. Like, if you gave people tanks and vision, you'd have like 2-hour games. So they do not like seeing that. Like top lane Sona running Frostfang. It happens, Sammy. It's all right, buddy. You gotta get back in that league state of mind. You're gonna get in solo queue, man. It is definitely a test of patience, if nothing else. Well, hey, you know, maybe, you know, if you think you can do better at a different role while you're climbing up, possible. I mean, if I was trying to level up a Smurf as fast as possible on a new account, I probably would not play support in bronze either. But if you're actually in bronze, you know, for people that are in bronze, they're just playing, I think support's a perfectly viable role to climb on. It's just if you're smurfing, it's different. Because in theory, you should be able to outplay everyone so hard that you have to, you know, kind of take responsibility for that and play something with a higher gold contribution. Potentially. I mean, you could smurf and still do very well. If you were going to smurf, you know, you'd want to play something like Brand or Pipe or Zyra. Yeah, I wouldn't do that one right there. You don't want to flank as Nami. Pretty much ever. Because especially against things like Kha'Zix. Stuff that can outflank you, you know, like maybe right here you could try to throw a wave and see what you get, but yeah, you really don't want to play. I mean, yeah, it's kind of, you know, they do TP on you, that's kind of a surprise, but it's a really high probability that you're going to get cut off. And it's so difficult for them to dive Heimer with all those turrets. Yeah, so that's something to work on. In general, just don't play further. These guys really hate that Heimerdinger. Yeah, and the thing is, like, Sona, probably Soraka too, can get that charged up. Does the penalty fall off at the tier? I think it falls off at tier 2, right? When you get it upgraded once, there's no penalty. Who knows? What? You can't clear that, dude. You just saw the Kha'Zix. Maybe I'll turn this in. Okay, you managed to turn it around. He was just baiting. He knew what he was doing. He was baiting. He's limit testing. I swear, I talk about this. I've said it in several videos. If you just drop a pink somewhere, people will clear it. I need to do that more often. I call it the oops pink ward. Old school tactic I use, but just like throw a pink ward like outside of a bush or something on accident, like you barely missed the bush, and then just sit in the bush. Someone will come clear it, I'll guarantee you. People just can't help it. They see pink ward, they're like, I must clear. You know? Shin support? No, you don't see Shin support because he's balanced around top lane. You don't see him even in pro anymore. Like, the only time that Shin was really, like, even considered as support was in the Banner of Command meta because he was really good with Banner because he doesn't require any mana. And so getting an item like Banner of Command early was really beneficial to him because he didn't suffer, you know, low mana. with his abilities. Also, that was a very macro-heavy meta. Like, people were just dropping banners in, like, every lane. And there was a lot of, like, split pick comps. And just pressure everywhere all the time. And so he had lots of opportunities to use his ult to make plays. Like, he's close. He just needs a lower cooldown on his ult, and he's not going to get it. I think for him to be more support viable. Hey, maybe you are, Sammy. You know, play whatever you want to win. I do think that the Sona and Brand are pretty good. I mean, might even as much as like I sort of meme on the AP Sona. Like, if you're kind of smurfing in bronze or whatever, maybe going to AP. Good. I feel like you really need to do a lot of damage. I feel like her heal's not even really the issue. I don't know what it is about Senna. To make support more viable, they need to give her better AP ratios. Because I think support Senna's like... It's not terrible, but it's not insane either. Once again, I would not be playing with Nami, especially against Cosmics. Like, I think you're just going to find yourself in some bad situations very often. This is why, like, Nami's good, but she's just, like, in these kind of skirmishes, especially if you don't have... I mean, the set can engage, I suppose, but... And the Ahri can. But, yeah, you just... It's hard for you to make plays as Nami, like, pure offensive, hard engage plays. You just kind of got to play around your teammates and hope that they do something smart eventually. And then you can, like, complement that, but... Just chucking the wave, like, max range, or flanking are just not really great options. I mean, maybe they could remove. I mean, that might work here in Osaka. Maybe you're right. Just say, look, if you want to heal, we're going to give you a better AP ratio on your heal, but we're going to either lower or take off the AD ratio. I could see that, yeah. Maybe that could work. Maybe that'd be kind of like a two-fold buff support and nerf ADC. I feel like a lot of it is her range and her free crit. So maybe nerf her range instead of, does she get 75 every so often? Or is it 25? I can't remember. Maybe it's 75 sounds like a lot. Is it 25 range per 20 souls? I mean, they could just increase the number of souls that she requires or whatever her thing, whatever it's called. Maybe they could make it 25 to get an upgrade instead of 20. Make her scale longer. Like, a lot of it is that she's a cheap item abuser also. I mean, so much of it in Pro especially comes down to item efficiency and cost. And the fact that she can get mana immune. She can still be really oppressive in lane because of her range. And the fact that her Q applies on hit, that's another thing that's like... The fact that she can AoE apply the Manamune proc. And, like, apply it to waves. They could start just ticking away some things. Like, maybe her Q doesn't apply on hit. Or maybe it doesn't, like, damage turrets or something like that. They could continue to just, like, chip away at her. Give her kind of the Akali treatment. Oh, you guys want to play the Baron fight back? Okay. I think that was just Set running over everybody. Because he's really OP. But we can look at it again here. Okay, Heimer's pressing bottom.
Blue team triple kill.
Yeah, we can look at it. I mean, I don't even think Nami's in that play, right? I mean, maybe you show up at the end. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I think it's literally just like they step on a Teemo shroom and Set just like runs in and just deletes everybody. Okay, no, Nami does show up. Okay. Yeah. Pretty much. Like, Nami wave hits, and then Set just runs in and tackles everyone, and that's it. I mean, that was good. Good rotation. Heimer's gonna get... Right. Oh, that's a cool little... I haven't seen that with the flowers and stuff, with the BMO coming up. That is kind of cute. I wish they would make Teemo more viable. Like, they were messing with him last year for like 3 or 4 months, and then out of nowhere, I remember someone arguing with me about Set for like 30 minutes or 45 minutes when I was complaining about him being like too strong. Like, no, there's all this counterplay to him. He's not good at all. It's like, bro, he's got like a 20% play rate and a 57% win rate or something. Like, I don't know. He's better than I thought he would be on release. I think you just kind of have to like play against him a couple of times. You're like, huh, I just got hit with 500 true damage off of one item on a basic ability that also gave him a 500 shield. Seems interesting. It's weird. It's almost like it's very hard to balance true damage. I don't know. Alright, it's only had 9 years to try to figure this out. So like, what are 2 of the most OP things in League of Legends? Shields and true damage. It's like, let's put them on one ability. Maybe if we put them on one ability, they won't be too good. Yeah, I think you were probably dead anyways. I mean, maybe, like, you did flash, but he gets that obnoxious slow on you off of Dustblade, and then his W, I think, applies a pretty hard slow, too. I think usually Kha'Zix upgrades the W second, I believe. So he gets the, like, the super slow and the 3 spikes.
Turret has been destroyed.
Me too, Parker. I was just like, what? I was so mad because I was like a Rakan. I was building Frozen Heart first too. I had like a Glacial Shroud with like 2 cloth armors, I think. I may have even had Ninja Tabby. I had like 120 armor. He literally came in. I don't even remember if he had a full item. He might have had Cleaver. But I feel like it was just like Tiamat plus Phage, you know, and he just like popped me for like 500 true damage. And I had 900 HP. I was like, what? I was like level 6 or something. I don't remember. And then, you know, the guy in chat was like, well, you just gotta dodge the true damage. It's got all kinds of counterplay to it. And then, like, 2 minutes later, there's a sequence where I engaged on him. It was 1v3. He had, I'm pretty sure this time he had Tiamat in the full cleaver. Engaged on him. He back out, got away from him, sidestepped the true damage. He still hit me for like 300 physical damage, and then tackled me into a wall and punched me, and I died. Basically, almost instantly. With over 120 armor. I was like, oh, okay. Cool, cool. But I mean, people are well aware of this. He's gonna get nerfed. I think they've got some nerf on him next patch, but it's not as no problem nerfing him. Alright, what do you... Mikhail's for the polymorph, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, Ardent Sensor's not that great. I agree with not getting that with Senna. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good itemization-wise. Okay, Kha'Zix is top. Okay, so Oscar asks in chat, what makes Leona way better than Alistar? Alistar is just outdated. Like, basically, Alistar's thing used to be He was one of the only major tanks that had a heal in lane. He healed himself and his allies and his minions, which is clutch. Okay. I mean, I guess, but the thing is they're under towers. I don't know if I would have used that many resources, but y'all can just step back. I would just leave. Y'all are missing too many ults. I wouldn't fight this. You don't have your ult, you don't have Senna's ult, you don't have Ari's ult. Just reset. There's no other objectives on the map. Just chill for a minute. Yeah, what Alistar used to do is he was one of the only like tanks that had that kind of heal in lane. It used to proc off of every so many, or he used to just be able to press E and do it. And then every time like minions died, his E went down and cooled down a little bit. And he got this passive called Trample, which did extra damage to minions around you. So basically, he was like the ultra like push and heal type of support, and you really couldn't poke him out of lane. And it was very difficult to engage on it because he could knock people back with his W, and then also, of course, he has his combo and his Q. So he was like the ultimate, the old school like push and roam support. You could push really easily. And then like get your Moby boots and go like roam somewhere and make plays. Also, he was the old school tower diving support because his ultimate, you know, used to reduce the damage from all sources, including towers, by 70% for like 8 seconds or something. And it gave him a hell of a lot of like 70 extra AD or something like that. Okay, nice. Oh, good. That was a great tackle. So there's that. So he was one of the best tower diving supports, he was one of the best pushing supports, and he was one of the best roaming supports for years and years and years. So like what's happened since then is they have like buffed up the defenses of most of the other supports, mostly through Aftershock. Basically everyone has a little mini Alistar ult with Aftershock now. Anyone can die with your team. Okay, wow, y'all just went off of that. Okay. They just like, you guys just won an ARAM like at the end. I mean, it basically just came down to like sets just really OP, pretty much. But I think, okay, so the biggest things, definitely the biggest thing to take away is try not to flank with Nami. It doesn't work out very well, like 99% of the time. Just, you gotta try to play it straight, you know, play near other people, and just use your slows to kind of help accent people. I mean, basically, you know, it was mostly set at the Baron, but your wave did definitely chip in a lot, and your heal chipped in quite a bit. And that's just kind of what you want to do, is sort of hang out back line and just, you know, debuff people. Or buff your allies so they debuff the enemy with the slows. So yeah, that's one thing. I think that early on, you know, like I said, I would probably get Frostfang. Just because like she is a mana hog, and I would be a lot more aggressive too with Nami. She's got a point click W, so you can just walk up through the minion wave every time the ADC wants to last hit. You just pop them with the W, or the Lulu, you just hit her and just keep trading with them over and over again. And having that mana regen early is a big deal. And since you're going to rush Athenes anyways, like I said, the extra early 50% mana regen converts over to 10 extra AP on the Athenes. So you get an extra like 220 gold value there. So if you're going to get Athenes, you really want to get Frostfang early on instead of Relic Shield, especially after the nerf to Relic Shield in the preseason where it gets like 15 less AP later on. Because Nami does scale pretty well. If you're getting maximum bounces in fights, which you will, then the AP is actually pretty good on her because her W not only has ratios like on the heal and the damage itself, but also the more AP that you have, the less reduction there is per wave, per bounce. So it's almost like double scaling on her W. Itemization overall is pretty good though. Yeah, rushing Athenes and then Redemption's a good combo. You know, the 150% extra base mana regen turns into 30 extra AP. So that's really solid. And then, yeah, probably just Mikhail's. If you had another ADC, maybe Ardent Sensor, but obviously Senna's terrible with that, so I like the Mikhail's there. And then just look for the polymorph cleanses. yeah, overall, you know, I think was solid. What else? Um, I mean, there wasn't much you could do in the early game. It was just the game was kind of outside of your control. You're just getting hard camped. You did a good job surviving. You didn't die a lot in the early game. It was hard to get the vision control because that Kha'Zix. You said someone on their team was Diamond or former Diamond or something like that. But the Kha'Zix would be who I would guess because he did a good job of sort of dictating the early game. Although getting Mortal Reminders a little weird. Okay. But anyways, hopefully that gives you some tips there. Sorry, I know Fane's not gonna mind probably in the chat, but you know, for people watching, I don't always go off on so many like random tangents with the chat when I'm doing a coaching session, but occasionally I do. But I know, or at least I feel like Fane probably wouldn't mind that much, as long as we are giving him some good advice here too. But anyways, that's going to be it for the coaching session. The stream's going to continue, so thank you very much. Anyone else that'd like a coaching session, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. Remember, it's just $25 if you're not a member, $20 if you are a member. You can either be a member through the YouTube join button, through the PayPal link in the description, or through like a Twitch sub. Although we don't stream on Twitch anymore, I do have an account there, and if you just want to support the channel with like a Prime sub or something, then you can do that, and I'll give you the discount for it. But anyways, okay, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.